Welcome to another episode of the Blue-Lusional podcast, Chat GRC, where we interview a new grassroots candidate every single week leading up to midterms. We are in the middle of midterms. Early voting started February 17th in Texas, other states in the South. We are speaking to someone on the West Coast. Sir, introduce yourself, what you're running for.
How you doing, Devin and Casey? This is Christopher Ajluni. I am from Congressional District 1 out here in Arizona, which is the Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, Fountain Hills, Cave Creek, Phoenix east of the 17 area, so the northeast corner of the city out here, and running as an independent, and really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming
Thank you for
on. And we're
coming.
excited to be diving into Arizona. Arizona, we have been pretty much stagnant in Texas, which we had to. Texas is pretty big, so we've been
That's
slowly
true.
working our way through Texas candidates. And now
hmm
we're in Arizona, we're over on the West Coast. And we want to know what inspired you to run for this election cycle out of all of them.
Well, gosh, that's a fun question. I've done this for a really long time. I've been in politics, my whole life. I grew up in Iowa where they have caucusing and the presidents all come there, all the candidates. So it really just came out of, that part of my life. But at the same time, last year when AOC and Bernie were speaking in the Fight Oligarchy tour in Tempe, I watched that. I didn't get a chance to go, unfortunately, but I watched it and it was such an incredible moment with all these people. People were outside of the stadium trying to get in. They I think they even maybe did a couple different rounds of their speech.
Uh-huh.
And AOC was speaking and she was just saying we need young people, we need new voices to come up to do the hard thing, make sacrifices to really save the country from oligarchy. And it spoke to me. And I believe that it is worth my free time, is worth me working as hard as I can and being innovative to try to make a difference. And so I'm going to do it. So I'm doing.
See,
No
it's as
more old
easy as
people.
that. It's as easy as being like something that inspired me. I hate where we're at, and I feel like the only people that are going to change this are people who are not taking big corporate money, who are not bought and paid for. And I feel like so many, obviously, we know we interview them every week. There's so many grassroots candidates, and all of you have come to that same conclusion. Like, the only way we're going to get out of this is if we take money out of politics. That is the only way. And so I love hearing how all of you guys came to the same conclusion and were like, we're all going to do this. This is the time. Now is the time.
Yeah. Like who else? We have
Absolutely. I
to.
mean, Casey, you are
Not us.
absolutely speaking my language right now. I call them BPFs. I call them bought and paid fors, and I call myself a no money candidate and an MC. And there's a reason. I mean, it's really that. I think people are just so fed up, and like in my district, the Open Secrets folks think that they're going to spend $40 million just to elect the person for my seat. There's 25 people running for it right now. Why are those like I know why I'm here. I know that I have really really important urgent work that I'm being called to be here for. We feel it
Mhm.
across the nation like you said. But I feel many people are there for either money or notoriety, like to get their influencing status up, things like that. I've been told that by people that raise money for the campaigns. So, and I've, heard these gaudy numbers thrown around. Like it's just common, that's what we do now. We spend tens of millions of dollars 435 times across the country every 2 years. That's what we're doing. Like, no wonder we have problems with debt. No wonder we have so many systemic issues. I won't go nuts, but I'm just saying, I mean, it is too urgent for all of us to do the same thing we've done over and over and over again. We need change.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
literally the definition of insanity. We're doing the same thing over and expecting a different change, and it's just not going to happen. So we got to try something different. We got to get you guys in there and need you to put your teacher hat on because people don't know things. People don't even know that primaries are a thing. So please let the people know, what is a congressperson? What do they do? How can you use that influence at the local level?
So the Congress is the people's house, right? There's the Senate too, but really the US House of Representatives is where we are supposed to be represented by the numbers of people that are in each state. And it is the place where our voices are supposed to be heard. And right now, you have a situation where they have raised the bar very, very high on people like me who run independent. So they have to play by their rules in the parties. And then they have also raised the bar financially so that they're only getting a certain class of person in there unless a different class of person is still willing to come up and play that game. Like, so there are some people that are more working class, but like I want to use like Tommy Tuberville or whatever his name is. That dude, like
Yep.
not exactly an elite, but he's willing to come up and do their bidding. Right. So that's okay then.
Mhm.
I was at a fundraiser for Rashida Tlaib down here in Arizona, and she
Nice.
came in and like the first thing she said was, "I need $5 million to be relevant." And it didn't have to be her that said that. It could have been any of them that would say something like that. But especially her, I thought it was interesting because I feel like in a district where she has a good shot. So for her to say that in
Yeah.
front of me, I was just like, first of all, I felt bad for her. Like, I want her to be able to speak her voice, not just be like asking for money, just like the rest of them. Like I watch ads now. James Tellerico, if you guys are talking about Texas, like I am very huge fan of his. I think he does a very well, whether it's on camera or like when he's actually doing policy, when he's in the state house there. And I think that he's a person where it really pains me when he's like on an ad on Facebook and he's like just like asking for a couple of bucks, man. Like I just need like it's like that is not what we need
You
James
shouldn't have to
Tellerico to
do that.
do, right? Like we should have them talking about issues, not doing ads for needing your money. It just feels wrong.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's weird.
It is. It's like influencers when they are doing like a paid promotion. They're like, "Come spend the day with me as I drive in this 2024." Like it's such a paid promotion, you can tell, and it just like takes away from whatever message they're trying to make. Like your example, like James Talarico, sometimes he'll be in the middle of like talking about a policy he's really, really excited about bringing, and then in the middle it's like, and if you donated $5,
Mhm.
it's like, oh man, see, you just took me out of it. But I understand why they have to do it, and it's not fair that they do.
Like, it's
Yeah.
damn near Cash App in my bio. Like, it's it's crazy the way
Turns
that
out influencing
this is the
is
way
not a new
the system's
profession.
set up.
Sorry, Ben.
No, you're right. It sucks that this is the way that the system's set up, where we spoke to the founder of a pack, and she said like straight up, it's like whoever spends the most money wins. It's like that's no. Like money's not freedom of speech. Sorry.
Yep. And I mean, obviously, whoever spends the most money does not win. Look, Kamala Harris spent more money than Trump,
As
right?
of late.
Allegedly, anyway.
Mhm.
But I mean, that just goes to show how much of a waste that money was. You know what I mean? Like we just didn't need to spend that. Could have come to the same outcome with votes and like actually listening to their policy. And I think you'd probably get more policy if they couldn't spend money. Right. Then there's no crazy events just all about fundraising. Like they have to come out and say what they're actually for. And I think that was like a big criticism of Kamala, and I voted for her. But people would say, "Oh, we don't know what you're talking. We don't know what you're saying for," or something like that. Even though she had a big policy published, but you need to say it. You need to come out and make decisive positions on things, and really, I think that we're seeing the new wave of people ready to do that, ready to say like, this is how I feel, and maybe I don't know everything or something like that, but I will work harder than anybody else to get educated and figure it out. And I think that to a large extent, people that are like my age, or we're 37. I mean, we've been around. We've got houses now. We've got mortgages. We've got healthcare issues, children. We need to take vacations to see our family. We need to take care of our family a lot of the time. We're experiencing the whole spectrum of the American dream, and so to have the people like that are in their 80s telling us how we're going to do this and what it's going to look like. And then it's getting worse and worse and worse. Like, I just don't think we should let them do that to us, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over the old people.
Yeah,
They
it's
lied.
crazy, guys.
They all lied.
Yeah, we are millennials. We've been through it since the beginning, since we were, children, and we never get a break. And now we're trying to actually run. And to your point, yeah, we're all in our 30s, 40s, some of us inching it into 50s as millennials and haven't been able to hold these positions because the boomers will not step aside. They are
Yeah.
literally dying in arms of
And,
natural causes.
the Congress, like we were talking about, I mean, one thing that I get a lot is, oh, as an independent, like, will you have any power, or like, will there be anything that you can actually do? And really, like, yes, because there's already a network of us that are working together. This is like all over the country. So when we talk about it like it's a movement, I really believe that it is. I think we're going to see people win. I don't know which of us are going to win, but there's going to be some of us that do. And if you have a part of the Congress and a divided Congress that is independent and working together for the American people, it's gonna be some results from that. I don't know what it'll be yet. It's kind of depends on the American people to come and support us to get us there so that we can do it. But I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a better future than if we just have
Yeah.
two parties,
Yeah.
in Congress like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Indies could definitely have power. I mean, I'm not fans of them, but how many times did we see Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin be the deciding factor on things? And people
Yes.
say, "Oh, well,
Mhm.
here it is."
Yep. No, and I mean, but I think
So,
to a large extent, like they were funded. You know what I mean? So they were making decisions.
mhm,
Like one Kirsten Sinema decision that really bugged me was some way, somehow, she stopped their being like capital gains taxes basically that were the same as income taxes. Instead of right now, it's less than income taxes. So if you're living off of capital gains, you have a better deal than somebody and if you live off capital gains, you probably have a lot of money, right?
yeah,
So it just isn't really fair. And she kind of stopped that. And she had all these investors that it created a conflict. It's just like, how could you do that as the one person that has gotten the highest in that place other than like Bernie Sanders, and you do that? So that really bugged me about her, to be honest with you. But I do know what you mean.
mhm,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yep. Well, you're on the ground in Arizona. You're seeing the effects of this administration, and you, as an independent, are probably talking to people on all sides of the aisles and independents. So, we want to know how constituents of your district have been affected by this administration. Like, what are they feeling right now?
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of wild events happen down here lately, and I think the most publicized right now is what's going on with immigration enforcement down here. We've got in Glendale, they're purchasing an extremely large warehouse for tens of thousands of detainees to be held. Allegedly, and it is a big issue. The community is coming out against it, and again, bought and paid for politics. Looks like that decision is going to hold. You know what I mean? Like there's just not enough support that I see. I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. I'm going to be demonstrating for it to not hold. So that's one effect. Another effect in that respect, know people where they are in the country through deferred action childhood arrival or other programs and things like that are scared right now. And these are people that have lived
yeah,
for decades in this country. And you guys probably are bored from hearing this story over and over again. But like for my example, my personal friend, she's like having people drive her around so that she doesn't get pulled over by the wrong person and then taken, somewhere across a border that she came across when she was a child. And whether it's that or whether it's like people keeping their kids out of school, like that fear, that presence of masked people in the streets, like how could that not affect everybody? I don't think it's right. I mean, to me, it looks like Russia half the time when I see it. And I think that we know that it can operate not more effectively, even to get done what they're doing. Like they keep saying, oh, Obama deported more people. It's like, yeah, because it was humane, at least more humane, or at least led by more humane
Yeah.
ideals. I still think there was a lot wrong with it. Like my personal friend got deported in that era
yeah,
to Canada, and it was a total waste. There's no reason it should have happened. Dude's a friggin' molecular biologists now up there. Like, we just lost talent because we had this archaic structure for immigration that Congress hasn't fixed. So that's a huge thing. But I also am seeing, and I hate to just I'm sorry for drawing on, but there's so many wrong things. But like every intersection I'm at right now in Phoenix, there are people with signs asking for money, and like a lot of them like look put together. You know what I mean? Like that is like a crazy thing to me. Like, people of my age and they're out there with a sign trying to just feed themselves. And that's horrible. I
Yep.
think there's like 1 million people on the streets in this country right now. So our community is feeling it just as much as everybody else. I think we all try to be strong in whatever administration we're under, but it's tough right now. And I see people with multiple jobs. I see people I talked about on a different pod that I had done. Elder care is really important to me because I watched my grandmother and grandfather go through that. I think that is completely just underserved right now and not looked at. Like, I never hear Congress talking about that. There's so many things. And you see, like, I'm wearing a Palestinian flag to trees shirt here. I think that our foreign policy, like, we could get into that all day about all the things that we're making missteps on. The tariff program, the guy who is in my seat that I'm running for, David Schweiker, is on the House Ways and Means Committee. Guess what their first job is? The first part of that committee is supposed to be tariffs and dealing with tariffs. You're asking what the people are supposed to do. So they could be checking the president when he does something crazy. And in fact, they really should be, right? It's their Article 1 duty. So that's affecting people in my district who are business owners who need to get things from overseas and who believe in free trade. Guys, we are in such a state. I think we just need so much help. We need a sea change or a revolution in this country, a peaceful revolution. We just need it.
Emphasis on the peace.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
100%. Why do we need,
Yeah.
I mean, this is the day and age of technology. Like, there's no reason to be violent. Like, we can just choose to vote.
Thank you for saying that.
Vote.
Oh my God, thank you.
We could absolutely show up and use our voices at the polls. We can have, like you said, so many people are registering as independent. So many people are registering to vote for the first time. So many people are running for office. Like, the run for something went insane just in the past 5 months. So
Right after Mondani won.
it is a revolution in and of itself, whether you want it, because I think so many people only think of revolutions as like blood and guns and violence. No, there are lots of different ways you can revolt. This is a really big way to revolt. Run for office. Run for office as independent. That's revolution.
Well, and if people want to know how they can help us, because I think a lot of people, everybody is feeling like, let's get out there and let's do it. Like, what do we need to do? But they don't know what to do. What you need to do right now, if you can, go and figure out how you get people on the ballot. That is part of the democratic process that we just miss it. You know what I mean? Nobody talks about it. Half the people, I bet none of your listeners even know what I'm talking about. You got to go and figure out how to get the people that you believe in on the ballot. That is the most important thing.
Please say it.
Setting it up. Yep. And in Arizona, like, we have a great system out here. We have Equal, which is this electronic way for signing people's ballot petitions. Everybody can do it. And it takes 5 minutes and a driver's license. So if you have that in your state, it's great. If not, help those people that you like, look them up. Go look up who's the unfunded candidate. They don't have to be in any party, or they could be in a party. If they're not taking corporate donations, that is a person that you at least want to consider. Like, you please do it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. See, we needed to hear that this week too, because people are like, we're not going to vote. And we're like, no. We're like, no. Vote for the person that's making everyone. The Gavin JD debate right now. But we're of like, okay, guys, don't say you're not going to vote. Vote for the grassroots candidate like Chris, who needs money, who needs to get on the ballot and start platforming this person and hyping them up. Like, that's all we need to do. Fuck the centrist and the corporate people and the people that take AIPAC. Absolutely not. We need to fund the grassroots candidates. Give up $1.
Your $1.
Watch this podcast.
I think you're spot on. I think that we, like, I just don't know how to say this the right way. Like, we should not have, as millennials, the leader of millennials in the highest place of any millennial in the country, which is JD Vance, basically, right? That guy is the biggest sellout of every millennial. That's the dude who took the most money to change his values the most. That's the guy that we're going to let these old people put in place as top millennial. Give me a break. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, hard pass. Hard pass. No. Absolutely
And
not.
the check on
Absolutely
executive power is Congress. So that's where you should look first. Like the Senate is extremely important also. But man, the Congress, there's 435 of us. If people band together, like that's a swing of votes that could absolutely happen feasibly if people had better options. Like that's what, there's a old South Park where it's like between a turd and a douche is the election. We don't have to feel like that anymore. Like we can have good leaders. We just have to go out and support them. And
just go
now
to the primary.
yeah, people are out there. I mean, people are really giving you a chance this time if you're a voter to have some different options. And should they not vote, whoever said that, should they not vote, you're going to crush that because it's hard for us. Like it's really difficult and dangerous for us to do this. I was just talking to a different candidate in Arizona today, and he was telling me how people have targeted him. They have come at him financially. They have come at him for his record and things like that, and to like smear him. It can happen. And if the public backs us and like gets behind the people that you really want to get behind, right? Like I've had elections in my life where I've held back and I've been like, okay, let's be realistic. This isn't happening. I'm going to go to the person. And that's like the whole caucus system in Iowa is you just moved lunch table to literally lunch table to lunch table in the cafeteria with your neighbors to figure out who has the most support. So that's part of the democratic process. But if we don't do it now, we are never going to get this chance again. I mean, already, if you look at that graph, everybody has the graph of when Citizens United started and what happened to campaign donations. Like we are off the rails on the crazy train right now. And if we let it get any further, we will be so disenfranchised. Like it's going to be Ready Player One. That is what I'm trying to convey to people right now. And I think
they
even old to young know it, not just people who've seen Ready Player One.
Yeah. They dropped like $5 million in the in the state Senate race for Tarrant County. Like for a state race to damn it, I forget his name that won, but I think he only spent $400K.
It's
insane.
Astronomical numbers. I mean, just think about this idea, okay? They're telling us by saying money is political will. They are basically asserting that, like, if you have $1 million of disposable income, or not even income, just disposable money that you can just send to a political candidate, you are more powerful based on what your PAC founder said. You have more votes than a guy who is an electrician and just doesn't have like a extra mill to just drop. How can we be expected to function when that's the case? You're putting the power in the hands of I can't even get it on my screen where the power is. It's not your neighbors that are like have nice grass. Like it's like your neighbor that, because in Arizona grass is really okay. Never mind. We won't get into that. But I mean, it's not that person. Like we're talking about multinational conglomerates now that have outdue influence in our elections. When did it become okay for someone to just pay something and they're an American? Like that's actually happening right now. So if you're just a Russian oligarch, you can just come in and then you're an American citizen, closer to an American citizen than anybody else in life. I mean, make sense, guys. Like, come on.
All right. Tell me if I'm pronouncing this right. So can you tell us about your work with, is it Azahir?
Yes, that was really, really good.
Okay.
And Azahir kind of just means, in Arabic, the root of it just means like flourishing, like little flowers growing. We are a nonprofit that is registered here, 501c3 in the United States, excuse me. And we're also registered in Lebanon, where there are Palestinian refugee camps. And so people may or may not know about this. I find a lot of people don't know about the extent of how many refugees are in Lebanon and other countries. I'll give you an example. Like our main camp has 40,000 Palestinians in it. And there are 12 of those camps around Lebanon. And they don't all have the same population or anything like that, but it's a huge problem. I mean, these are cities of people that we're talking about. It's not like a couple tents or something like that. They have facilities, they need all sorts of stuff. Lots of them don't have like sanitation, like running water, things like that. Like, or if they do, it's just not very well kept. And we're talking about these have been there since 1948. So 3 generations of people have lived in these now. That's where the kids are that we're at. And it's just something where their whole infrastructure, because they're stateless, which means, right, there's no government that's above them. Like they organize themselves, but officially there's no state above them. So it just puts them in a really bad situation for infrastructure, for education, for healthcare. They're totally dependent on the UN for that. And now the UN even agency that helps them, UNRWA, UNRWA, is being attacked financially by both the United States and Israel. And so it's getting to the point where teachers are getting fired and stuff. We work on education and psychosocial support at ASA here. And so we're trying to help people deal with trauma. That camp that I mentioned was completely destroyed by, shelling in 2007. And so they've gone through really, really tough things as not only people like being displaced, but then even where they went, they've experienced situations like where you would go try to get a job. And then the last question on the application interview is, what's your nationality? And if you're Palestinian, sorry, we're not going to hire you. They've don't have the ability to like own
Wow.
property, or I could go on and but the kids are fantastic.
Yeah.
They honestly keep me going. Like every day, like I wake up and if it's a good day, we had done some event and they'll send us pictures. So we're doing right now, it's Ramadan, Kareem, everybody who celebrates. It's starting right now today. And so the kids got a chance to get some presents, and because we do, that's part of psychosocial support. We had clowns, we had like all sorts of like celebratory stuff, and they even had like a couple of the boys like had drums, and they were like walking around with the drum. It was very, very cute. Okay, they had face painting and stuff, and it just put smiles on people's faces. Where like the place that those pictures came from, we're the only NGO that operates there at all. And I just it makes my heart swell up when I talk about it, and I'm gushing a little bit, but it's just one of the things in my life that I'm the most proud of right now. I love those kids.
You love what you do. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So
if you go,
follow up to
man,
that.
come
How
with
are
me
you?
and I'll show you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. But follow up to that. So how would you use that experience for foreign and domestic policy?
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge, huge question. So I also my start and why I do what I do there is because in 2006 I was actually in Beirut when they had a war, and when Hezbollah had kidnapped soldiers
Yeah.
on the Israeli border. And I don't know if you remember that whole thing, but we were there. We got stranded there. My parents were at the airport with my sister when it got bombed, and luckily just hit the runways. But for about 15 or 20 minutes, like I thought my parents and my whole family, immediate family, was gone. But we survived. We got out of there with 25,000 other American tourists that were there. So I have this unique perspective. Like I've literally been under the bombs of the military industrial complex. I've heard what it sounds like. One of my friends had a seizure when the windows were rattling from shelling. Like she was so freaked out that we had to take her to the ER. And that experience informs me a lot. Like when I was there, I remember seeing that the news we were seeing and the news we were hearing from our family and friends in the United States was totally different. We were not seeing the same information at all. And it just gave me this perspective that you don't know what you don't know. And you really should look at multiple sources of information every time that you're looking at a situation, because they could have a slant. And it's hard to know all the slants out there, especially in today's media, right? But so that taught me a lot. And I would say that for our foreign policy, with as widespread as our power reaches, like our military has over 800 military bases all over the world, we have a huge responsibility. That's a lot of power. We have to be using it for good. And what I would also say is we do use it for good lots of the time. I know that sounds crazy to people, but like when we were there, like the Marines showed up and evacuated all those Americans eventually. Like it took a while, honestly, with the Bush administration, what was going on at the time. But But that's
Mm.
everybody from Anthony Bourdain, who did an episode that's about that. If you want to see about that conflict, go watch that episode. But he says in it how great the Marines were. We have fantastic people in this country. We have fantastic soldiers in this country. They shouldn't be put in bad situations. Like, we need to use that power for good. And then specifically in terms of the Middle East, we need to incentivize people for good, which Trump does a lot of talking about, right? He has these Abraham, where he has all these ideas about making money or doing these things. But when it's making money at the expense of people, that is not the way to do it. Like, when you're talking about Gaza, you're going to have 100% employment with biometric scanning of Palestinians to keep them in places. Like, what are you talking about? That is not incentivizing a good
dystopian.
situation. That's not incentivizing like a free society where people are equal, which is what we should be doing with our billions and billions of dollars that go into the Middle East. We shouldn't be demonizing Islam in this country. There's so many really, really incredible organizations and people that all they do is devote their time to others that are in the Islamic community in America, including to non-Islamic Americans that they help. Like ICNA is an organization that does work like that. And when you see like the way that people like Randy Fine talk about Muslims, I don't know if you guys saw the disgusting, but even Megyn Kelly was disgusted with that man. And when you see the way that people demonize them in this country, all the way back to 9/11, I mean, who doesn't remember, who's our age, 9/11, and what was said, what kind of like happened? My cousins were getting bricks thrown through their windows and stuff like that. And we're Christian, Arabic, by the way. So he's just totally missing the thing that they're even thinking that they're mad about. And so when you think about that Islamophobia that I'm talking about, that is part of foreign policy. There's a reason that they're running all of that stuff. It's because Israel is focused on greater Israel, right? And they're co-opting all of our elected officials and the people that have lifelong sets. I have to say right now that it would affect me. I think like I'm in a very unique position to go out and execute foreign policy and change it for the good because of my experiences, because of my work, because of my background. I'm Lebanese, Palestinian, and Syrian American. Half of my family came through Ellis Island. The other half came during the Nakba. So these experiences have just informed so much of what I am now. That's part of the reason I'm running, because I think I can really make a big difference in one of the most important areas in the world with so much of our money. So many people losing their lives needlessly through our technology, our money.
Nothing.
It's just not right. And we're losing our allies too.
It's not. Yep.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Quickly.
That's why we need more people like you in office. We need people who aren't taking APAC money because to your point, people like you who have had lived experience and are directly seeing and trying to see, because as you said, it's really hard for people in the States to get correct information on what's happening in Palestine. But a lot of people who are running as grassroots candidates, not taking APAC money, are going to be the ones who are going to draft up legislation, who are going to work on foreign policy, the ones who are getting APAC money. There's a reason why what's happening is happening. And when we keep voting for those politicians who take that money, we are never, ever going to see anything progress for Palestine when people are taking APAC money. So it's got to go. It has to go. There needs to be legislation written where we can't have foreign money in our American politics, and that's that.
And I want to say too, I want to speak up for Jewish Americans too, and also people there, because they are being indoctrinated. They are having, I know friends of mine that are not even Jewish that have helped pay for bunkers for people in Israel. That shouldn't happen. They should have a respectful society that is safe, that they don't have to worry about these things, and they can practice their faith. And if they aren't faithful, then fine. They can live there secularly. Like, it is not hard. We can make this happen. We made it happen in Europe, where if you think about World War II happening there, it's hard to imagine that French and German people live side by side and it's just cool. But they do. Okay. So there's no place in the planet that we couldn't have peace if we had good leadership. And when we have bad leadership in America, especially, that leaks out to the rest of the world. So that's just something that we need to change as the people of this country.
I
Yeah, we got a
agree.
bad leak right now. We got a real bad
Yes,
leak.
I agree. But I know you spoke on this a little bit, but we wanted to ask you how you came to the decision to run as an independent, not to pick a party.
Yeah, it really just has to do with the genocide in Palestine. I mean, watching Biden's administration not do something about that, I cannot be a Democrat. And now watching what Trump's policies have been, I cannot be a Republican either because of that, just all by itself. But then, even beyond that, like I say, I refuse to have a hand on my shoulder when I go up there. I want to go to Washington and be able to make decisions for my neighbors, period. I do not want to have millions hanging over my head that I need next time to be there. Frankly, I want to put term limits anyway, because if you ask me, I'm not going to be there as short as a possibility of me being in office as possible for me to get what I need to get done to do right by my neighbors. That's what I will do. That is my commitment to everybody, because there is just no bone in, like, I would much rather be going on fun vacations or like using my time for my charity or like, taking my dogs to the park. Like I could keep going with a big list of things I like better than all this. I do enjoy this a
Yeah.
lot, but I just mean like I could definitely. I love to drive. I love to drive around the country. Come on, I mean, there's nothing better than like going over a hill and all of a sudden like you see America. There isn't.
Mhm.
That's it. Wrap it up. 1-2 terms and then go for a nationwide drive, right?
Yes,
1 to
that's the
2
goal.
terms and then move to Flagstaff and go skiing every day. I don't know, something I don't even know what I would do. I'll go
Okay,
down the
so
Mississippi like Mark Twain or whatever, like in a raft. That would be sweet.
so when you are in there, what are your top 3 priorities?
It's not very sexy, but the top priority is really campaign finance reform, because the reason for that is that everything boils down to that money. The money is follow it, right? Like that is what is causing the decay, that's causing the debt in this country to go crazy. It's what's causing the tax revenue not to be right, since the people who have the most money are avoiding taxes as much as humanly. It's inhuman. They're using AI to avoid the taxes, right? We know it. We see it. They've got these tax havens all over the world and like former colonies all over the place. And the oligarchy is not in our borders. Like the oligarchy is everywhere. They don't have borders. They think that they can pick and choose what rates they pay for taxes and stuff like that, take all the benefit from this country, from all of the work that everybody puts in, and not give it back. And we have to change that. We cannot continue to operate without that. So that's number one, even though I know I just said not very exciting. I really believe that the second thing would be universal health care. The reason for that
There it
is
is.
part of the thing that happens in these crises when we're strapped, like we are with a couple jobs, everybody's strapped, right? And then COVID hits, or then the financial crisis hits, or something hits, and whatever it is, you end up selling your house or whatever to that dude with the commercials. And then it ends up being it just goes to some big company, right? And now wealth has been taken out of our people. Well, healthcare is one place where our wealth gets sapped all the time. It happens on the front end with medical conditions that end up in people with bankruptcies. It stops people when you have medical debts from being able to buy homes. Like they even have addressed that recently, and it still didn't work because you can not count medical payments on a mortgage, but if your credit score is crap because you've missed all the payments and it was in collections and you didn't know, now you're disenfranchised. Like you have a super high rate compared to everybody else. So it's really, really detailed stuff like that healthcare reform would fix. And it's also like the health part of it. Like it would immediately allow people to make more money because they'd be healthier, spending less on drugs, not as burdened by chronic illness if you had like preventative care ahead of things. So it would immediately bring wealth back to the American people, bring time, bring peace of mind. And that's part of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So that is something that I really believe would change things quickly for a lot of American people. And third thing, if I can, I know I told you guys I'm long-winded, so you were ready for this. You were prepared. But number 3 would definitely be the Palestinian issue, because as Nelson Mandela said, and I'm not going to quote it, I can't quote it, I can't get it as good as he does it, but the world will not be free until Palestine is free. Because why? That is really part of American imperialism. I mean, I called it at the dog park the other day. I was explaining it to somebody as a colony, whatever you want to call it. Like in 1948, a transition happened from one colony entity, the British, to America. And America said, you know what? We're going to give this to the Israelis. We're going to make Israel. We're going to make good on the Bible or whatever they think they're doing and the Torah and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, what it ended up being is this intractable place where America has crazy influence, military bases. They come up with some of the best technology. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but Israel has had drones since the 70s. Since the 70s. Think about that.
Yeah.
Now, I was in Stanford recently listening to a Palestinian from Rafah explain to me how he has nightmares about drones being outside of his tent at night. Because it would happen. They would come in and you can see the light. You can see the whir. You can hear the whirring. And you had to lay still, he said, because if you didn't, there's a chance that it would think you were a threat. It would perceive you that way and it would shoot at you. So he's living this life that is like Terminator or something like that. And I'm telling you, that is not consistent with American values. I mean, people may listen to me and they'd be like, what the heck is going on? What is Chris talking about? Please get educated on this situation of what we're doing over there. And it's not just there. Look at what now we're doing in Venezuela. Look at what we've threatened in Panama and Canada and Greenland, and the way we are acting like on Twitter, like we're going to have this whole hemisphere or something like that. Like, what does that mean if you're in South America or Central America, like, and you see that, like, how are they supposed to operate with America anymore? So this imperialist thing, if Palestine were to be free, I really believe it cracks the shell, and social media has done this. It's cracked this shell of like not knowing what's good. We all know now. Everybody knows what we're doing outside our borders. So we have to change that. So that's why it's those 3 things, we would be totally a different country in such a better way if we were to change those 3 things. And if we change those 3 things, I believe we would be on a path to financial responsibility, to paying our debt a little bit down and getting away from are we going to be downgraded in credit any day? Our people are going to just not buy our bonds anymore. There's so many reasons that this needs to happen quickly too, to save our country in a way. I'm out of breath.
I like getting America's nose out of everyone's business. I feel like that's honestly one that people don't even realize that could be that big, because by doing that, we're able to, focus on what's happening here as opposed to trying to, bomb other people and kidnap their presidents and, terrorize them.
And actually use our military to help people and to use our military against our own citizens. Like we can use the resources that we have to actually help people in need. But right now we're using our military in our own country to attack our own people, to try and attack our own people. So
Not only that,
it's just that all has to change.
And not only that, Casey and Dev, but we are putting our fleet places where we're not worried about, like Taiwan, where military drills are happening from China, like all the time. Like they're like surrounding it and like pretending like they're going, like and we're in Venezuela. Like, what are you talking about?
What?
Like, what are we doing in Greenland? Like provoking our allies to sending, just like troops there or something, like just as a show, like, hey, guys, like we're serious. Like, this is not cool. Why don't they have their independence anyway? That's another thing I think. But it's like we have all these things going on, and it really makes me nervous because it seems to be working out in China and Russia's favor a lot. And I don't know what's going on with that or what the deal is, but it's really setting up those guys to be able to take Taiwan, to be able to continue conquest in Eastern Europe. I'm a little bit worried about that. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me that we wouldn't be holding those positions that we had before that defended the international order and community. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And we knew this was coming. We knew we were giving up our seat as number one world superpower
Mhm.
to have them swoop in and take it.
Yes, so we need people to vote. We need people to go out and vote, and we already kinda touched on this a little bit, but we wanna ask you what you would say to somebody in your district that might be feeling like their vote doesn't matter and they're not gonna vote.
I think their vote only wouldn't matter in the sense of, like, if they let oligarchy win. Like, if you let this happen, like, if we decide to stay out of things and not, can't fix anything, then we almost deserve it, right? Like, we have a duty as free people to come up and demonstrate and do whatever it takes to get this done. That's what people did before us. We can't just be like, well, I have my cell phone and my, YouTube, and so I'm good. Like, I'll just stay online and not really think. Like, that is not a viable option. Too many people cannot
Yeah.
tolerate this that much longer. And
Yep.
I hope we get our act together, and I hope we go out and vote, because I don't want to see like a Back to the Future 2 situation happening, like where people have to wear bulletproof vests, and it's already like that. It's already getting to that extent,
Yeah.
like where you can't go to a public place without just kind of knowing where your exits are, and stuff. Like, they're telling children to do drills about hiding underneath your desk, and now it's not nuclear weapons, it's like active shooters. Like, I get upset because I want the country to be better, and, like, especially, like, when I see what's happening to children, I'm like, we need to do better just for the people that we just were. Like, those kids do not deserve to be coming out with all sorts of
No.
anxiety issues and stuff and being fed crazy medication. I mean, and one heartening thing that I would tell you is, like, I met with somebody on the other side of the aisle recently who's running for city council. His name is Zach Lauer, and we had a really good conversation. And even though we disagreed on some stuff, we came to a lot of the same conclusions, like what we're talking about money influencing things. And so the good news is we got Big Tent. Like, we can do this, but we need people to vote. We absolutely need you to do more than you've ever done in your civic duty. It is so important now that the three branches of government are co-opted by corruption. I mean, absolutely, guys, no uncertain terms. Corruption is legalized in America right now. It's celebrated.
Yep.
People must
Yes,
be the
and the
check
only
on
way.
that. They must be.
Yes. We
Mhm,
have to be independent watchdogs. Like, that's the way I see it. And even after, when we finally get our shit together,
mhm.
we have to keep being watchdogs because they're not gonna police themselves. Obviously, they've shown us that.
Not only have they shown us that, but why would they, right? Like, they're incentivized, like the Nancy Pelosi's of the world, or like the nepotism that we see where it's like just one last name that keeps popping up, even though, like, how does that even make sense? Like, maybe they want to be in pottery instead of politics. Like, what are they doing there? Well, it's because it's financially awesome, and you get great benefits, and you get to have this power, and you get to fly around on private jets to security conferences, I guess, and, like, talk about really cool stuff, which is fine.
You're
Like,
like
we
a
need to
celebrity.
do stuff like that. But hey, guys, I don't know if anybody knows this, but, like, Zoom is like a thing. Like, we are doing this right now virtually. Like, they need to be doing that as much as possible to save money. We owe 38 trillion, 39 trillion. David Schweikert, the guy that's in my district, just said today, I think he said that we're paying $74,000. No, I can't even remember what the number was. $74,000 a second or something like that in interest. It was an absurd number.
Probably.
It's
Yeah,
gotten to
probably.
be so bad. Like, they need to penny pinch. Like, they need to not be demolishing part of the White House to build. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that you are
They're
spending
not
our
even
money
building
on
anything.
huge
The dump.
bonuses for
They're
people
not even
to wear masks and go through the community. I'm gonna get frustrated again. But the money thing is really important to me because
right
I'm
there
in
with you.
financial services, 15 years. And I just spend all my time for the last 15 years has been, like, talking to American people about their financial issues that they're going through, and scrimping and saving on like a mortgage payment, or like trying to figure out like how to deal with debt. I mean, for what American people go through, to watch it just be in our faces all the time, how flaunting like all this BS. I get so upset. Like the Schweiker, David, he's had 175 violations of ethics violations just in penalty fines for what he was doing with campaign funds, like hiring babysitters or like doing countertop, whatever he's doing. The House, not me, like I'm not making this up or something like that. The House, his own body, fined him $175,000, which is like more than most Americans make in a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's corruption on a level that is so bad that we have to do something different. We have to change what is going on right now immediately. So
Yeah, absolutely. All right. We made it to the fun portion.
yes,
So
so much better.
I think you're going to have an interesting answer. If
I
you're
can feel
running
the
for
throbbing.
president, if you're running for president, the job that nobody wants, who is your dream VP, living or dead? Doesn't have to be a politician.
Man, this is so hard. You guys gave me this like ahead of time. I should know and have prepared someone for this. I really do not want to even entertain this, but I guess, okay. I feel like I would want it to be, actually, I mentioned before, but Mark Twain. I really like Mark Twain. And I like him now, especially because he like actually went to the Philippines and like saw like what imperialism was on its face, and then came back and like talked shit to them, like mad, just wrote some of his like most incredible criticism about what they were doing and made them look like fools. And I think we need that right now because we're trying to go imperialist again somehow. Like, and we really already were. We really already were, right?
There.
We were there.
Yeah. It's just more out in the
so
open now.
now because of social media, we know about it. And so, yeah, I think that somebody like that would be a really good running mate right now, just with the power of his pen to be able to go after these people and expose them like we know they need. I mean, this Epstein thing, like not to get into this, but holy crap. Like I know we're doing the fun question. I'm like bringing up Epstein, but like I'm just so mad because everybody knows that this has been covered up from us in a way that they must, like so many people know about this for sure.
Too
and
many
have
people.
hid it. And maybe that's why they look so fake all the time. Maybe that's why they're always closed-lipped, because they are holding back super gross information that every single person who is, I mean, we should make sure, like it shouldn't, like I'm sure there was one person that like got off on the island and was like, oh my God, I got to get out of here, right? Like I'm sure. Investigate.
Yeah.
Figure it out, put it out in the open, and anybody in the government should be not allowed to serve out their term. They should be gone today if it is confirmed that they're something. Yeah, they should be in prison. It would happen to anybody. It would happen to any American. They would be in prison if it were their violation like this, their crime, their horrific ruining of a different person's life, of a lot of women, and I think probably some men's lives. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, Republican or Dem, you gotta go.
Gotta go.
Clinton, whatever name, it does not matter. There is no one above this, and it needs to be speedy. That's a one thing you'll never get that from the two parties.
I know.
At least not a
No, you
know?
won't.
Like if you threaten them with independence winning, I think that they might have to, like, and especially if you get the unfunded candidates in the Democratic and Republican parties to win, then it will be addressed. Look at Thomas Massey right now. Look at Ro Khanna, what they're able to do. And even they, take money and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter if you're no money like me or you're at least not dark money like those guys. We need to go towards that model.
Yes.
Yeah, and we need morality back because we're lacking that so bad right now.
Yes.
Isn't it crazy
speaking
though?
of
Sorry, I was just gonna say, isn't it crazy how good America, like the American people are moral to a large extent, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, Casey.
yeah. No, you're good. You're good. I was going to say, speaking of the files, this next question might be the hardest one you've had to answer today. So, this is a would you rather between evil politicians. So, would you rather have to question Pam Bondi or RFK Jr. in a congressional hearing?
Well, Pam Bondi, because I think she's done worse stuff. I would want to go after her. But I mean, I know what they're going to do. You know what I mean? I've seen it. But yeah, I just
Bring
think
the burn book.
there's even more stuff with her. And I mean, I again, like I always keep an open mind almost all the time. Like I really try my hardest. Like I looked at the new food pyramid guidelines and I was like, okay, all right. I eat a lot more protein. Like I'm trying to help. I'm trying to be supportive, guys. But then you go and cancel all the vaccine.
Yeah.
Like it's just, like, come on. But yeah, Pam Bondi, because I just know that the Justice Department is just failing on so many levels right now that it's just crazy. I mean, they're talking about how they are not prosecuting and they have dropped cases for so many crypto firms. And these guys are going to spend,
Oh, they're
according to
letting them do whatever the fuck they want.
according to the crooked media folks, they are going to spend
Yeah.
$140 million on the midterms elections. Just think about that. APAC,
Yeah.
Israel is going to
Mhm.
spend 50 million, I believe
I
was
saw
the
that.
number, just on TikTok, just for
Yeah.
children, just for targeting children.
That's crazy. It's
Yeah,
insane.
it's
Propaganda's
gross.
not working anymore, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So before
Mhm.
you're like, Chris can't win without money, just remember who the money people are. I mean, literally, they're
Oh,
like
yeah.
pedophiles,
Yeah.
half of them at this point. It's just insane.
Hey,
So,
On the fine.
we're seeing people without money win some of these races. So never say never, guys. Okay,
Mhm.
you need your eyeballs, and you can give up $1 or $2.
yes.
That's what it takes. We actually have to do something if we want to get rid of the people that we can't fucking stand.
Mhm.
We can't just
Well,
complain in comment sections.
100%. And it's all about getting outside, organize, go to public events, and it's there. We can build it if it's not there, for sure. We have the technology.
Oh,
We have the technology.
I'm sorry, I had to
All
say
right.
that.
So then, hey, I get it. I get it.
My friend, my Canadian friend that got
you have the
deported,
dad
we
joke.
would say that to each other all the time.
my gosh. Yeah. Mhm.
I'm picking up what you're
Keeps them on him.
The fake, I'm like junior dad, so I don't have any kids.
All right. So when you win, we're gonna do the tour. What's your hidden gem in Arizona? Where are we going?
Okay, this one I did prepare for because I know this is easy. I really love,
Nice.
and it's even in my district and everything. This is like perfect answer. No, anyway, it's Flatiron is the mountain is what it is, and we would go up there and hike up in the evening and camp overnight. And it has to be on New Year's
Oh, an
Eve because
experience.
it's a
Shit.
5-hour hike there up and back, but we would camp up there and you'd see the fireworks over Phoenix. So I've done this mountain a couple times, and one time it was New Year's and these people had their tent. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, where are you going to camp up here? Like, there's nothing up there. But then they're like, yeah, you can see the fireworks. And I was like, oh man, that sounds so good. So that's on bucket list, near bucket list for one of these years. I'm going to do that. You
I
guys
might
should come.
need to bring. I might need to bring some type of transportation with me. I got bad knees and ankles, Chris. All right? I don't know if the 5-hour. I don't know if I'm going to survive the 5-hour hike.
I'll carry
That's
you
what
on
I'm
my
gonna tell you
back. No,
now.
I'm just kidding. You're not gonna.
Will Devin
That's what I want to hear from my congressperson. Carry me on your back.
on my worst of days.
Can you
All right.
explain to me all these vacations that they take? Like, they should be like, if you get a vacation, you should come back to your district and go volunteer at someone else's work. Like, that's like, why are you off?
Bro.
I don't know. Like, for a
They
month.
have like
or
2
whatever.
weeks vacation every 2 weeks.
They have the
They're on-
Like, it's
best
fucking
vacation
insane.
plans out of anybody who's employed in America.
Yeah.
Playing in our faces.
That's why people want to run. I think there are some people that are like, man, I get some like unlimited PTO over here.
Straight up unlimited PTO.
Straight up. Every other week I get off. It's crazy.
That's why they accomplished one of the
What?
lowest levels of legislation. They literally passed one of the lowest numbers.
It was the lowest, wasn't it?
It might have been.
Yeah.
I haven't even. I'm so mad I can't even see straight, guys, about that. So
Yeah.
I just like they're not doing their job, and it's not just me. Like I always remember, my mom is one of the people in my life who's the most important. Help shape everything I do politically, like my whole life, right? And to see her just be like, do your job to like the Congress. Like my mom is a very respectful woman. Like she is not, she's like always very diplomatic and stuff. That's like one of her hallmarks. She could be yelling at me like, Chris, you're too stupid to breathe. And then the phone rings and she's like, hello, this is Serene. Hi. And this woman is like, do your job. Like get it done. I mean, we're paying you. We watch you waste this money. So frustrating.
Yeah.
It is.
Hey, I'm right there.
That's why
I was never leaving voicemails like that until this past year.
Yeah.
I'm just
the voicemails
calling them fucking idiots.
Have
Yeah.
crossed a line, absolutely, because they need to. And that's literally why we are doing this every single week, interviewing grassroots candidates, because it is the most important thing we could think of. Like nothing else is more important.
Yeah.
So literally sidetracked our entire podcast to do this because it was literally like, this is what we have to do. And there's no questions, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, all of that to say that this is the future of politics. I truly believe that this election cycle is going to be one of the most historic sweeps. Not only blue sweeps is what we say, obviously, here, because most grassroots candidates are running as Democrats, but we're going to see independents. We're going to see a lot of voters that are independent, people registering to vote. Like, I think this is just going to be one of the most historic years for elections. Make it or break it. It is make it or break it. That is how important these primaries and these midterms are. So everyone needs to check their voter registrations. They need to check who's on their ballot, and they need to be picking the most progressive candidate that wants to flip tables and is not taking any corporate or foreign money, because those people will never be your people. They will never do anything for you. So we need to get people like Christopher in office so that we can fix this shit and make it so that it never happens again. And then somebody like Christopher can go on to do what he wants to do in the future.
So he can just drive around. That's all he wants to do. He just wants to drive around.
On aisle 10, close up all the loopholes.
I feel like this is a tough conversation because I just agree with you guys so often and so much, even like with just like the phrasing, like Casey just said something that makes me laugh because, okay, this is crazy, but my great grandmother is literally from Nazareth. And so my friends were joking around the other day. They're like, you should start calling yourself Christopher of Nazareth. And I was, but flip tables is what we want to do. That's what we should be. Jesus would be flipping tables right now.
All the table. There wouldn't be a table unflipped. There would not be a table. That is what we need. And that's what you should be asking your candidates running for office. Will you flip tables for me? If they can't immediately say yes, sus, red flags all around.
Nah, not happening.
And I got so excited, by the way, because while you guys are doing this with me, I'm getting a message on Instagram of somebody saying, I want to volunteer for you. And me and my friend, 2 people want to.
Oh, yeah.
I'm feeling it. But remember, guys and ladies and everybody out there, that you need to do the work. Like, I know that you get told that every cycle. I'm literally saying to people, I don't want your money. Give money to the charity if you want to give money to somebody. Give money to people that are doing good things in your community. I'm going to go volunteer this next week with Native American Connections. Go find it. It's totally there to do if you have time. I know everybody's strapped for time. That's also why I vote for us. But really, we need you guys. We need you. Without any money, I'm challenging these people. I have a whole list of people to call. Call me. I will put you a list. You can call them. You can walk around. You can go to a farmer's market and post up, dog park, pickleball court. We have options for people. Go to my website, ChristopherAjluni.com, and that will have a ton of ways you can get involved, and you can have parties. I would love if you have a party, I will come. I will bring you probably food if you really want. Like, come on. Like, we can do fun stuff and get this done. So be part of it.
Hey, yeah.
Literally the guy you want to have a beer with.
Yeah, make sure you're following him on all of his social media platforms. That way, guys, it all does good things. You watch his videos, you go to his website, you help his SEO, all those things. So if you don't have time to volunteer, you can take 5 minutes out of your day to just go to his website every day just to really help push it out there. Those things you might not think about, but the best thing you could do for Christopher is register and vote for him.
Yes,
And when's your
CD1.
primary?
So I don't have a primary as an independent. The most important date right now is March
Okay.
23rd. The Democratic Secretary of State moved up the deadline by 2 weeks on everybody to thin out the herd. So they are into even like engineering mode to be able to do this because there's 25 people running for my seat. Both parties want to thin everything out. And the other most important thing is you have to be in CD1 and you can only support one person signing their ballot petition to sign for them to do it. And as an independent, I have the highest signature requirement of any candidate in the race. So we really like if you have an independent candidate in your area, figure out if you can support them because the game is rigged by the parties to make it really hard for us to qualify to even get off the ground because they know that it's so hard to get your message out there without millions of dollars. So if you hear this, find the people you know in Arizona or not. I mean, if you see races that you see a great candidate, go volunteer for that person. Like you can call and do things for them. And even if it's really small, like a lot of small things go a long way. So, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys for going away from the podcast that you want to do to this politics stuff. Like it's not what we should be focused on, but we need to do it right now.
Hey, it's what's important is what we feel passionate about. It's what so many people feel passionate about, which, the greatest reward will be watching all of you guys in office doing what you said you were going to do. Like that is the reward we all want. And I mean, if we can come hang out one day at the Capitol, I mean, we wouldn't be opposed, but I know you
There,
guys are going to be busy.
there are a lot of ways that we will be able to celebrate. I can tell you as somebody who was definitely like going with the Obama campaign in '08, like I was a delegate for him. I even did this one time. I was at the Jefferson Jackson dinner. I just have to tell you the story. It's so good. So I was at the Jefferson Jackson dinner in Iowa, and that's the last chance in each state that has one for the Democratic presidential candidates to like make their peace and be like, I'm the one you should pick.
Mhm.
So Obama gave a speech, and then we marched over to the Vets Memorial Auditorium where they all got to give a speech. But in between, while we were marching, I just happened to be wearing my college sweatshirt, and Obama had just been there, and he walked very close to me, and I just go, Senator Obama, to college. He comes over to me, and we do a bro hug. You know what I mean? Where you do this, and you do one of these. And changed my life. I was so happy when he won. There's a picture of me on top of a car because I was so happy. I know it shouldn't do that, but I was so happy that I literally like got on top of a car. So if this happens, like if we have this movement, you're all invited. That's what I was gonna say. You're all invited to the party.
You couldn't tell me shit if Obama hugged me.
Yeah, that would be on my gravestone.
It was a very cool moment. It was a very cool moment. He out of nowhere, like didn't miss a beat. And I think I helped him win. I don't know. I still to this day, I believe it was.
You did. Well,
for the reason he won. I think you could take that, honestly.
Yeah.
Similar to a Colbert bump in a way. The Ajluni bro hug.
It was Christopher.
Yeah.
Christopher of Nazareth.
Yeah.
That got him across the finish line.
When you win,
I can't believe I told you guys that. I will never live that down.
Right. It's going to have a huge party. We're going to celebrate. And I can't wait. I truly, again, just think this is going to be historic. And we're just happy to be a part of it as people who are not running for office. We're just happy to be a part of it.
Think about, I think they say Jim Carrey had a check for $1 million or whatever that he wrote himself, and he would check it every day and look at it in the morning and use it to manifest. And so manifest this. Manifest us all together in DC on the mall, celebrating a Congress and a people's house that actually represents the people again.
Oh, yes. That is all you guys need.
Yeah.
That's all we need. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, Christopher, for coming on to the podcast. And we hope the next time we see you is going to be a celebration.
Well, you
All
might
right.
see me
That's going
next week,
Hell yeah.
by the way, because the independent candidates are going to be in DC. So look for us on the news.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, okay. Hell yeah.
So then we have something.
We'll be looking for you.
We'll be looking for you. Yes. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Chat GRC. We're still going. Primaries are happening. We're still going. So make sure you're tuning in every single Thursday for a new episode. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.